Hello, I'm Lesley Logan, and today we're going to do shoulder bridge here on the Spine Corrector. So shoulder bridge on the Spine Corrector is a really good place for you to figure out what's happening in your shoulder bridge anywhere else in the room, which means shoulder bridge on the mat or anytime you lift your hips. When you lift one leg, what happens in your hips, right? So if you're trying to get into high scissors and bicycle, if you're doing breathing, or you're doing the shoulder roll up on the Cadillac, all those require a leg to lift off with your hips suspended. And whatever happens is happening every time you lift your hips and suspend them. So if you're doing your shoulder bridge here on a barrel on the Spine Corrector, you actually get to feel what happens when you lift a leg, which is really great because then you can actually fix it, right? And you can strengthen it. So you would typically do this during your leg series on the Spine Corrector. So if you wanted to do it when you're doing your leg series, that would be fine. But you want to get into your leg series position. So I just sat at the front of the arch and then went backwards. Then your feet come here on the step, right? So you want to kind of find a spot where your hips are even, your back is supported, but you're not in your neck, right? So there's space between my neck and the mat, and then my feet are hip distance apart. Then what I'm going to do is find my shoulder bridge. So I'm going to stand on my feet. And for me, because of my length, I could get a tiny bit of air space between my hips and my. I've looked at pictures and it looks like the hips are still resting. You may be able to get your hips up, but I think that's a cue to kind of get you to get higher. I don't want you so high that you're in your neck. So if I were to really get my hips up, I would actually compromise my neck, and I don't want to do that right now. So I'm just going to stand in my feet, feel my back of my legs turn on, and then shoulder bridge. Then I send one leg out like I would the shoulder bridge. You point the foot, kick it up, up. You flex, lower, squeeze it down. Point up, up, flex, lower, squeeze. Point up, up, and squeeze. Set the foot down. Now what I noticed is when I lift that leg up, my pelvis wanted to lean on the Spine Corrector, right? Which is something I know about. Every time I lift my right leg, my hips drop to that side. So I'm going to re-stand on my feet. When I take my left leg up, I don't have that same dip problem. I'm able to stand on my right leg more and keep my left seat on to hold my pelvis up, right? So it's just something that you want to notice so that when you are doing your shoulder bridge on the mat, or like I said, anywhere else in the room, you want to you'll actually be able to tell what your hips are doing so you can strengthen it. So if I were to continue to practice this, I would actually do my right side again a couple of times. Then I would actually do some of my exercises that I've shown you on how to connect to my seat and really practice standing on that side and also strengthening this side so it can hold the whole pelvis up while I'm doing my leg kicks. I hope that makes sense. So that's your shoulder bridge here. It's a really good teaching tool. I would love to hear how you use it in the comments below. If you have any questions or subscribe to this channel, put them in the comments, and I will look forward to hearing from you. I will see you next time. Thank you for joining me.